so much for having me. Thank you to all of my countless mentors that always seem to be sitting in the back of the room. I love you guys back there. Thank you, Dr. Gilles. Thank you, Dr. Sharon, for an amazing opportunity when I first started right out of school from Life University. So I'm extremely excited to be here because this is where I went, and this is what taught me how to be a chiropractor. And when I graduated at the end of 2008, I didn't feel ready on my own to go out and open a practice up. So what I did was I sought out family practice, high volume, subluxation based, things that I wanted to learn from, and ended up crossing paths with Dr. Sharon Gorman and accepted associateship position there where I worked for almost 3 years. And like she said, I moved to Florida after that to be near my family. And I moved down to Florida, and I did coverage work in a few offices for a little bit before deciding that it was time for me to now open my own practice. And I went on Craigslist. I found an office that was looking to hire an independent contractor, met with someone and said, great, I'll start in 2 weeks. I didn't have a business card, a practice name, and anything. I didn't know a single person down there other than my family, and I don't know if you guys know, but they don't tend to be the best paying patients. But I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. So I show up on day one and I had 3 patients. It was my mom, my dad, and a practice member that used to see me when I worked in Pennsylvania who happened to now be living in Florida. So I had 1 paying patient my first day in practice with no one else on the books for the rest of the week. And I had come from a practice that was seeing a few hundred patients a week. So I knew that I could deliver a good adjustment. I knew that I had the words to be able to express how chiropractic could help people, but I didn't yet have the connections of how to bridge that all together and change and affect the lives of the people in my community. And I started getting extremely depressed because I'm a really fun, loud, outgoing, personable person, and I didn't have any of my people to share that with. And I went to lunch with a friend of mine who also had graduated from Life, and he said to me, Jenna, literally every time you meet a person, take them to lunch. You have a credit card, take everyone that you meet to lunch, get to know them, get to find out about them, let them learn about you. And I started doing that. I looked up online, I went on Facebook, I went on all these different websites, started Googling to see what organizations were meeting in my neighborhood, where there were places that I could go that I could meet other people living in my community. And what I started to notice was that I would show up to these events and I'd say, hey, nice to meet you, what do you do? And by my handshake, they'll go, wow, that's a good one. I'm like, yeah, I'm a chiropractor, you should come see me. And I would explain a little bit about, oh, I'm a chiropractor. They go, oh, this, you guys know, and this hurts, this hurts. And then I'd throw up on them about chiropractic, and then I'd get upset when they didn't call me the next day to come into my office to make an appointment to come see me because I just told them everything that chiropractic could do for them. I just told them that when you remove a subluxation, when you reduce the interference between the brain and the body, everything that you do in your body is going to heal, feel, and function at its best. I mean, that's the biggest thing you could do. It doesn't matter what workout you have. It doesn't matter how much kale and how many smoothies you had. It doesn't matter how much rest you had. It doesn't matter what thoughts you think if you're not bridging it all together to keep you fully connected to your source and your power. That's huge. So what? Yeah, thank you. So why, when I tell that to someone, did they not then want to come see me? And so the biggest factor and the biggest piece that I figured out that was missing from that whole entire system of what I was doing is, you've all heard it before, it's that know, like, and trust factor. And people want to do business with, they want to be friends with, they want to date, they want to do whatever it is with the people that they know, like, and trust. So what I started to notice was that I would go to an event, and I'd see the people and I'd say, hey, what's going on? Hey, how are you? And I'd just establish a connection, start asking them, tell me a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do? And not really being so eager to kind of push chiropractic on them, but more so just find out about them as a person. And I would continue to go to these events. They typically meet weekly or monthly. And as you see the same people over and over again, what starts to happen inevitably? We've now built a relationship where we are knowing, liking, and trusting each other. And guess what? Yeah, typically someone's going to find their way into your office when their neck or their low back hurts, but now they've been invited into my social media world. You guys, Facebook, it's a free tool to build your business, and they get to see these little messages every day that I put out, that I have my patients put out, that my friends put out, because all the people in my world live the chiropractic lifestyle, and then they start to ask me questions. And they want to know. They may not do it publicly because maybe they're afraid of what other people might think or judge them, but they'll send me private messages asking about, what's going on with chiropractic? Why would a kid need to get adjusted? Why would you adjust a baby? That's crazy to me. What's going on with that? And that's an opportunity to open up that dialogue, because this person already knows, likes, and trusts me. So now when their kid falls down in T-ball or falls off the bed, I'm the first person they're gonna call, because they don't wanna give their kids drugs. I don't think people want to be living on drugs and surgery. People want to be expressing their maximum health potential. People forget that we need to work on our motion, nutrition, rest, positive mental attitude, but they don't know to remember that they need to work on a properly functioning nervous system. That's our job as chiropractors, and we all get that. We're all in the same room. We all have those same thoughts. We all know that this is the conversation and these are the dialogues that we need to be having with the people in our community. And the way that we can keep to build on that is by coming to events like this. Coming to things like Life Vision, going to whatever organization or group is near you, and banding together with your other brothers and sisters in chiropractic so that we all stay excited. So I moved to South Florida, and for those of you who've never been there, there's literally a chiropractor on every single corner. So we could look at it as, like we've been hearing about all day long, is this competition? Or is this a chance for us to come together and literally change our community? I think it was Dr. Plasker just said, we're seeing 4%. I mean, that's ridiculous. I feel like I see 4% of my community in my office, and I know you guys are all seeing, even if we all see one person, that has to be more than 4%. So how do we share that message with more people out there? And one thing that's worked wonders for me in moving to a community where I knew absolutely no one and establishing myself as the go-to person for chiropractic and healthcare is social media. Guys, it's free. So I ask my patients, hey, if you had a great experience here, why don't you go ahead and share that with your friends and family? Because people that their circles don't know, like, and trust me, but they know, like, and trust them. And they want to hear about their recommendations, and they want to know what they have to say and what their experience has been. So I encourage you, when you go back into your practices, to use social media to your advantage. I just had a new patient start up from Twitter, and I literally just started using Twitter. I don't even know how they found me, but I was like, okay, great, good, it's working. Come on in. Always ask where your referrals are coming from and send a big, huge thanks back out to them. But one conversation I had earlier this morning with Dr. Danny Gambino, we were talking about, listen, when you graduate, one of the things that I love about chiropractic is that when you go to any seminar, in what other profession are you seeing people get up there on stage and being excited and powered up and turned on about something that they've been doing for 20, 30, sometimes 40 plus years? I mean, I don't know, I don't think you would walk into an accountant lecture and see someone like, I've been doing this for 45 years, and they're getting excited and dancing and want to tell other people to be accountants. Why do we get excited about this? Because this stuff is amazing. It's what allows us to express our maximum health potential. There is nothing bigger than that, literally. Now we have to do other things, we all know that are involved with living a certain kind of lifestyle so that we can help express that to our best capabilities, but it happens because we are fully connected. So Dr. Gambino and I were talking this morning about how, I'll be honest with you guys, it's not easy. I don't think it's easy building a practice from nothing. And a lot of times when, at least for me, it was intimidating sometimes to hear speakers talk about how practices are thriving, they're doing amazing, they're doing all of this, and I didn't feel like I could relate because they've been doing that for 20, 30, 40 years. And here I am, coming from a practice where it was doing that, but that was already established. Now I had to step out there on my own and make this happen, and it was a really scary thing. And so what I came to find out was that I needed to rely more on my mentors, call people up when I had questions to get that help. I needed to band together with the other local people in my community who are out there practicing so we could bounce ideas off of each other. And I needed to work on the chiropractic lifestyle that I was telling all my patients and all my people about that they needed to do. I needed to start working out more. I needed to do all these other things that were going to push myself out of my comfort zone so that I could give more to all the people that I was coming into contact with on a daily basis. Because at the end of the day, when you're seeing sometimes 100, 200 people, you're freaking tired. You have no energy left. Like, I know people talk about it, they have more energy than ever. For me, I'm tired at the end of that day. I feel like I gave it all out. So I had to come up with things and ways for to give back to my body, and that's by living that lifestyle that we talk about. But I never, ever miss a week of getting adjusted. I did it one time when I spent a month in India, and I refused to, there was no chiropractor that I could find there, and I refused to see anyone, and I got really sick. because it's part of my health maintenance. It's part of how I express my maximum health potential. It's part of how I stay well. It's part of how I be Dr. Gena Bofshever. I had a friend who recently got into health coaching. She called me and she wanted to know what it is that I do that allows me to have so much energy and be the person that I am. And I said, well, I thought I was born this way, but I'll tell you like how I literally live the lifestyle that I tell people to live. And that's nutrition, motion, rest, positive mental attitude, and properly functioning nerve system. And she's sitting there going, well, I do all of these things. I don't get it. And this is a friend who also happens to be a patient in the practice. And the thing is that she doesn't do all of those things. She comes in to see me when her neck hurts or when she has a headache, and she wants me to fix her, and then she feels better. So therefore, she must be functioning better in her mind. And then that's great. She's under chiropractic care. And she's heard the same message that I'll tell to other people. And you guys know this, that some people will just get it, and they're sign me up for forever. And some people are like, all right, yep, it's still right here. Go ahead and fix that. And then they don't want to see you when it's not hurting anymore. But then they're extremely ill, or they come down with something else, and they don't get why. The why is, our nervous system has to be free-flowing throughout everything that we do. It's our chemical, physical, and our emotional stresses that we come into contact with every single day, from literally the moment that we're born, in utero before then also, up until, for me, it's 32 years. So while I may live this certain lifestyle now, I didn't do that always. I used to watch tons of TV, drink a lot of soda, eat a lot of crap, and I still indulge every once in a while on things, but years of having that happen, it doesn't matter that I still continue to do maintenance care, take care of myself regularly. I still have ingrained in my body a past of taking lots of different drugs for medications. I wasn't a drug addict, medications. But living a lifestyle that I thought was the healthy and the right way to be, because I didn't have someone ever explain it to me. And I did go to a chiropractor on and off growing up, and they did try to explain it to me, but I wasn't ready to hear it. And I think that sometimes is the hard part for us as practitioners out in the field, is that we know what we have this like amazing thing to offer to the world. We know we have chiropractic. We know the power of it. We have miracle stories happening in our office all the time. But not everybody's ready for that. And one of the best things that we could learn, and that's been a huge helpful tip for me in practice, has been being okay with saying the word next. Because it's not my job to convince you that you need chiropractic care to believe in it. I don't think it's something you can believe in or not believe in. It's not my job to convince you that you need to do that. It's not my job to make any of your life decisions. It's my job to explain to you what chiropractic is, let you know that it's an option for you to have, and that you can go from living like this to living like this, and let you make that decision. Because as soon as I let go of that and took it off me and put it onto the patients, my practice actually started growing more. And I was like, well, this is pretty cool. I did my job and I'm done, and then people want to pay me for it. This is awesome. Because when you are so certain and you're aware of what you have, and you're ready to give that to people, and you're not trying to throw up on them like I was doing in the beginning, and hey, this is what I have, you need this, you need this. Well, yeah, I'd be like, get away from me too. But instead, be like, here's what I have. If you want some, cool. If not, that's cool. And even sometimes saying, you know what, maybe this is not for you. And then they want it even more, right? You guys have all had that experience. But the bottom line of that whole entire thing, and the truth be told, that in my opinion, you guys, I'll always be honest with you. You can come see me after you have questions about it. I think it's hard to start a practice. I think it's extremely hard. And the way to get through that is to stay persistent, stay focused on your goals of exactly what it is that you want. Like Dr. Gilles was talking about earlier, have a purpose, have these missions, have everything written down. My mission is to motivate and inspire people to live life to its fullest potential. That's huge, and I use chiropractic to do that. That doesn't just mean when it's a wedding or a celebration or a Sweet 16. That's every single day. There's always got to be something good in your day. I had someone in the office yesterday, and you could just tell that this woman was sad and negative, not okay. And I told her on the visit before, I said, you're not allowed to come to my office unless you smile. And I was like angry at her when I said it. So of course she smirked. And she came in the next day, and she's sitting on the table like, so I said, what's going on? I said, okay, tell me one great thing that's happened to you so far today. One great thing. And what does she open her mouth to say? Well, one negative thing, she tells me. I said, well, that's not something positive. I need you to tell me something positive. I want to know something good. And the woman just started crying. She did not have one single good thing, one single positive thing to tell me about that had happened in her day. Now, some people are like, hey, I woke up, today's a great day. I don't know, I don't always feel that way. I like something a little more exciting or sexy for me to be excited about the day, but I'm like, all right, it's cool, I woke up. I'm not proud of that one, but so I asked her, what's your favorite food? She said, watermelon. I said, when's the last time you had watermelon? She couldn't remember when it was. I said, how about you go have a piece of watermelon today, and you could be excited and happy about one thing that you did in that whole day. And I said to her that as soon as you start to make a mental shift, because we talk about chemical, physical, and emotional subluxation, this woman is extremely emotionally subluxated. Now, she was involved in an accident, so she said, well, since this happened to me, I said, stop being a victim. If you keep yourself there, you will never heal and you will never thrive. So unless you change this, it doesn't matter how often you get adjusted, it doesn't matter. All of these things that you're doing are going to try stuff you're going to put on it, pills you're going to take, whatever. If you don't change this, you don't change your life. So as we go back out in the field on Monday and we get to talk to all our practice members and all the people that we're going to come in contact with every single place that we go, always remember that relationships are what are going to build not only our businesses personally, but what are going to build chiropractic for our communities and for the world so that we can share that with every single person. Because the more people that are under chiropractic care, the more people are going to express their maximum health potential, the more better the world's going to be. And I'll leave you with my favorite quote from BJ, is that we never know how far-reaching something we may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. So remember that every single person you talk to, give them a little bit of your love and your energy, because they might be working up here and they may not be ready for this yet, but when they're ready for it, they're going to remember because they know, like, and trust you, and then you get to share chiropractic with them because chiropractic rocks. Thank you so much.